Hi guys, James at RampantLionReviews again for you today with another beer review. For this one we are going to head over to Colorado in America once again, one of the kind of premier craft beer states over there these days, and well known of course for its canned beer. So we're going to go back to Lyons in Colorado, which is of course home to Oskar Brewery, and tonight we're having a taste of the 10 Fidy, which is their Imperial Stout. It comes in at 10.5%, hence the name of the beer, and it should be really nice. This one was rated 99 overall on Rate Beer when I checked out earlier, and I think it was 96 that it had within the style, so it should be a really nice one. I hope you guys enjoy my take on this beer, and I always enjoy returning to Colorado and reviewing some of their beers. This one in particular was recommended to me by my friend Rod from Rod J Beer Venture, so do make sure you check out his channel. He does a lot of Ohio beers and things like that. He's got a really nice channel there, so please do make sure that you give him your patronage. A very, very nice chap actually. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy my take on this beer, but as always I will tell you a little bit about the brewery. If you want to get straight to the tasting, of course, just fast forward. All the usual links are in the description below. That's the brewery website, the link to my other reviews that I've done from Oskar Brewery before. No doubt I'll add some more in the near future. There's all the usual social media. If you want to see more beer reviews, do consider subscribing to the channel. The whole channel, of course, has a geography-based tagging system, so if you go into the homepage you can search for beer based on country, city or state, whatever it is you're interested in. Do check out the playlist of beers from different countries. There is one there for all the American beers that I've reviewed for you before, and that's constantly being added to. And as always, please do get in touch and let me know some of the other beers and breweries you guys would like to see me review, especially if you're watching in Colorado, because I know you guys have got a lot of breweries there, some that I probably won't even have heard of, but it's always great to hear from you guys. You always have interesting things to say, and the support that you give the channel is hugely appreciated. So anyway, to tell you a little bit about Oskar Brewery then. So this company was founded as a restaurant and bar by Dick Dale Katekis in Lyons in Colorado back in 1997, and 2 years after this they began brewing beer in the basement of the restaurant. But the brewery are credited by some as having been the first craft brewery in America to can their craft beers, and this was of course starting with the release of their flagship beer Dale's Pale Ale back in 2002. But by 2011 many other breweries were actually doing this, and in 2009 the brewery actually had founded the Burning Can event, which brought together a lot of the different craft breweries who were canning their beers. Of course, that's one of the big things in Colorado, and that's what makes their beers really recognisable. And as a scientist, you know, I can tell you that using these aluminium cans is a lot better for the environment than using glass bottles. It uses a lot less energy and things like that, and of course you do have the slightly easier recycling methods in there as well. So this is the way forward actually. But now a lot of the beers are actually distributed throughout America in these kind of resealable aluminium kegs and things like this, which again is another very good move. But these guys are actually the largest craft brewery in America to focus on aluminium packaging for their beers, and they're actually the second largest brewery in Colorado as well, after New Belgium Brewing, another very, very good beer of course. But in 2013 these guys actually opened a satellite brewery in Brevard in North Carolina, which started off brewing between 40,000 and 85,000 barrels of beer per year, but this has since been expanded to brew I think well over 120,000 barrels of beer. So they're constantly expanding. They do have another site, I believe. They did open up another one in Longmont in Colorado, if I'm not mistaken. But I may well be wrong about that, I'm really not sure, but they are looking to add another site in Austin in Texas as well. They've got their Oskar Blues Bar and Grill, which is still open in Lyons, and that has 45 different tap beers, so that's somewhere I guess I need to go and check out when I find myself in Colorado next. But it's supposed to be a very lovely state. I was there when I was very young, so I don't really remember much of that, but hopefully I can go and visit it sometime soon. But yeah, that's enough about the brewery just now. As I always say, the brewery link is in the description below, so do make sure you check that out. You can see all the different beers they do. They've got about 15 or 16 different core beers, and of course you can keep up to date with the latest goings on. I've reviewed the Dale's Pale Ale for you. This is actually only my second dedicated review from Oskar Brewery. Of course I did do the Shipwrecker Circus, which was a collaboration with Brewdog, and that was my first encounter with this brewery. But yeah, definitely looking forward to this one. So I'll just bring up the camera and let you have a little look at the artwork on this one before we open it up. So yeah, there you can see it's a typical kind of Oskar Blue style artwork. I do really like the cans, the way they present the cans on these. It really is very distinctive and attractive. It says pack it in, pull it out, recycle of course, 10 Fidy Imperial Stout, this dog a living hunt. Not quite sure exactly what that one kind of means. It actually has Swedish on the side here, which is quite interesting. So this one's obviously been done up specially for the Swedish market. Of course it does have the pant the £1 return thing, so I'll need to make sure I return this can for my £1, of course. But yeah, it looks really nice, very well presented. There you can see at the bottom there is the Oskar blues, the typical symbol, that nice kind of unusual writing. But yeah, let's get stuck into this one then. So I do have the specs of the beer. As I said, it's a 10.5% Imperial Stout, hence the name. It's got 2 roll malts and chocolate malts, roasted barley, flaked oats, and just hops in it as well. So should be really nice. So let's get this guy open and we'll get on with the tasting then. Should be really good. Yeah, oh, I can see the head just popping out of this one as I'm about to pour it. So yeah, it's got a nice big chocolate brown head on that. Just look at that, look how thick that beer is. I'll leave a little bit in the can and then we'll add that in later on, but just look at that beer. Look at how dark that is. So I think it's fair to describe this beer as being pretty much dark, kind of ebony rosewood. If I shine it up to the light, or just hold it up to the light, you can see it reflecting in the camera, of course. It doesn't even really have that much of a ruby edge to it. There's a solid finger of a frothy, dark, kind of beigey, it's not even beige, it's just a chocolate coloured tan head on this one. It looks very, very nice. There's some big bubbles sticking towards the side of the glass on this, but quite a few little ones just going up towards the bottom of that head. But it really looks exactly as you would expect from an Imperial Stout. And it smells lovely as well. I can just smell some of the nice sweet chocolate coming off this one, and the caramel as well as I'm moving it around. But it looks very, very nice. So let's have a closer look at the aroma then before we taste this. Oh yeah. It's got a nice kind of roasted base to it, this one. You can smell some of that black malt in there. But there's a lot of sweet caramel, kind of toasted, maybe not quite treacle or molasses. It's definitely more of a sweet brown sugar that comes out of this one. Some nice kind of milky chocolate in this too. Really nice smelling beer. Yeah, that really is quite good. There's maybe a little bit of licoricey note coming out of this one, but for me it really does lean more towards these the nice sweet caramel. There's maybe a little bit of darker treacle or molasses in there. A little bit of an almost coffee flavour as well, or coffee aroma I should say. But it's got everything you'd expect from the Imperial Stout. To me it comes across as quite a sweet Imperial Stout in the aroma. Nice chocolate, like I say, some brown sugars. But yeah, that does smell really nice. Just take a little bit of time, as I always say, just take a wee bit of time and enjoy the aroma of your beers before you get stuck into them. That's always half the experience when it comes to craft beer. But yeah, that's really good. You know, it's one of the cool things, you can get a beer at 10.5% in a can. But this is really damn nice smelling beer. There's a little bit of earthy hop in there. You can smell some red fruity esters on the end as well. You know, it's a little bit of a kind of candied red fruit thing. There might be a little bit of sharper raisin in there or something like that. But for me, this beer is quite a sweet Imperial Stout. Lots of chocolate, lots of caramel, slightly toasted of course, and just a little bit of black malt or coffee kind of underpinning it. Maybe a little bit of licorice as well actually. But really it's more leaning towards that sweet caramel, but it smells absolutely lovely. So let's get stuck into this beer then. This is the 10 Fidy, an Imperial Stout at 10.5% from Oskar Blues Brewery from Lyons in Colorado. Slàinte Skål. Oh yeah, that is pretty damn nice. It's a lot smoother than I was expecting. It's actually leaning a bit more towards the roasty character actually. There's a lot of nice things going on in this beer. And it's got quite a bit of alcohol warmth in it as well. I can just feel the alcohol warmth down here. But look at that, that's perfect pour. That is pretty much perfect pour on this beer. But that's damn good. That really is quite nice. Even though it came across as more sweet in the aroma, it does have a better balance than that with the roasty characters in the actual flavour. It really is quite nicely done, this beer. Yeah, that's pretty good. As I was saying, you're getting a little bit of alcohol warmth from it down here, but it does cover that quite well in the flavour. So with this one, there is, like I was saying, a very good balance between the sort of roasted malty characters and the sweeter side of the beer. So you've got some roasted kind of black malt just underpinning this beer. There's a little bit of a kind of almost brown bready character to this one as well. I can feel a little bit of that, but it's not really got a coffee flavour to this one. I was expecting a wee bit of coffee-ish flavour to come out of this beer, but really it's a kind of roasted black malt character that's just underpinning the beer here. It really is quite nice. Yeah, that's pretty damn good. On top of that, of course, you can get these toasted brown sugar flavours in this one. You know, this beer, it's not the most complex Imperial Stout that I've come across, but it doesn't need to be. You know, it has a little bit, in comparison to what comes out now, this beer, of course, you have to remember, the 10 Fidy, I think, came out maybe 5 or 6 years ago, something like that, so it is one of the kind of older Imperial Stouts in the grand scheme of things, and this is what I like. I do like going back to these ones that came out a little while ago and seeing, you know, it's interesting just to see how the style's evolved. And it always gives you a little bit of nostalgia actually to go back and try some of these things. I was talking about that in some of my reviews recently of the Danish Imperial Stouts that I've had. And this one reminds me, this is a kind of American one that does the same thing actually. It really does just take you back and show you how this style has evolved over time. But it's not the most complex one I've come across in comparison to the more modern ones, but it does everything really quite well, and that's the reason that it has the rating it does on Rate Beer. I would say, you know, I agree with the rating it has, because all the flavours in this just go together really nicely. But as, you know, the beer's getting a little bit warmer, you can feel it just getting that little bit thicker. There's some nice kind of chocolatey malts in there as well. You can feel that. The roasted character from the malt base, the sort of black roasted malts in this one, they're starting to push their way out as the beer just progresses into the aftertaste. And I guess as your palate adjusts to it as well, you can just feel those pushing out. But on top of that, of course, like I was saying, there's some sweet chocolate and those toasted, those lovely nice kind of toasted brown sugars are coming out of this beer as well. There's maybe a little tiny bit of a woody character to this one, not quite nutty. I think it's more of a kind of woody flavour for me that's coming out of this one, but the chocolate caramel is coming out in this one quite nicely, and it's more of a toasted caramel for me than it is a sweet caramel. I would say that about this beer. Yeah, I would stick with that. It's definitely, there's a little bit more toasted character to it. You can get some sweetness, but it does lean towards the toasted side of things. But then again, that's maybe just because of the presence of the black malt. The hoppy side of things is very simple, of course. It is just a nice sort of smooth, earthy character right around the edge of your palate there. And that's very, very nice. It's not too bitter. It lets the bitterness that comes from this beer really is more from the malt base than it is from the hoppy side of things. You've just got that nice, smooth, kind of earthy character around the edge of your palate there. But the whole thing blends together really nice. The black roasted malts are coming out towards the back of your palate, and that builds a good bridge between the nice, earthy hops and that more bitter, earthy black malt character. Roasted black malt, I should have said. But this is a nice beer. There is a little bit of a red fruity character to this one. If you just go behind the front curve of your palate, you'll pick out that little oily bubble where some of these fruits come out. It's more of a kind of candied red fruit ester that's coming out of this beer for me. There's maybe a tiny little bit of a raisiny sharpness to it or something, but for me, it reminds me more of these little Haribo heart-shaped sweets that you get in the Star Mix. It's got that kind of candied fruity ester to it, but overall it really is quite a nice beer, this one. I'm glad that I finally got to try it. So I do hope I can try the Old Chub at some point as well. I love trying Scotch ales from different countries, of course, just being Scottish, but I would love to try that beer at some point in the near future, because it's cool to go back to these kind of older examples of the American attempts at these beer styles, and this one is just another one that blends together really well. It's quite easy drinking actually, you know, at 10.5%. This beer is pretty easy drinking. Once you get used to it, that alcohol warmth just kind of goes away a little bit, but it's another really solid beer, and it certainly deserves the rating that it has on Rate Beer in my mind. It's not as complex as some of the ones you're going to come across these days, but everything that it does it really quite well. So in terms of the mouthfeel of this one, I would say this one is full-bodied. It's at the more bottom end of the full-body beer. I have had ones that are a little bit thicker than this. Carbonation, of course, is very smooth. It's a big, oily mouthfeel on this one, absolutely no doubt about that. The malt base has a good mixture of sweetness and also some bitterness as well. The hops are very, very smooth, and there's just a tiny little bit of a red kind of fruity character to this one as well. But overall, like I said, this is a pretty damn good beer. If you get the chance to try this one, if you enjoy your Imperial Stouts, and especially if you want one that goes back to something a little bit less complex, but something that's very, very well done, then the 1050 is going to hit you. It really is going to hit the spot for you. It's a very, very nice beer, this one. So I'm really glad I got to try it. But yeah, thank you once again for watching my beer reviews. Until the next time, please like, subscribe, share, all the usual YouTube stuff. Make sure you check out my social media. If you have tried this beer, do let me know in the comment section below your own thoughts on it. It's always interesting to hear from you guys, like I said. Do let me know what other Oskar Blues beers I should be checking out, as well as what other breweries in Colorado I should have a look at. But like I said, this is a really, really nice Imperial Stout that definitely takes me back to what this style used to be a few years ago. So yeah, really cool to try this one, and I hope you guys have enjoyed my review. But yeah, until the next time, it's landed just now, and I will catch you guys very soon. The 1050 from Oskar Blues Brewery, originally from Lyons in Colorado. It's landed just now.